Well, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. I've seen you all removing gearboxes from your rat rods and such likes, and you all use a hoist and a crane and things like that. Well, I've just removed the gearbox from a lawnmower. It's a gearbox, isn't it? Well, I guess it's, in effect, it's the final drive and differential. This bit of gubbins was an interesting thing to remove because there were circlips on there and there, and the circlip had actually raised a burr on the shaft. So I couldn't get the wheels off. The wheels have actually got a proper bearing in them because the burr, but I couldn't wire wheel or disc or whatever the burr because the wheel was in the way. Anyway, I managed to squeeze the wheel, and with a little rat-tailed file I got the burrs off, got the wheels off, got the final drive out. So that's progress of sorts. And I've spent the last 3 minutes nearly wire wheeling this. This is one of the what would you call it, footsteps for the little charrette. And when you clean things up, you can see how they were made. If we look at this piece, we've got, that bolts onto the underside of the charrette, and you've got this big bit of battered metal that forms a nice curve, and we've got a plate, which the other side of which is what you stand on when you're getting in or whatever, and it's joined with rivets, and you just know that those rivets were put in hot, battered in. Why you hot rivet is you batter it in when it's hot. When it cools down, of course, it shrinks and pulls it absolutely dead tight, and then it would have been cleaned off with a file. In fact, you can see the file marks on it. Much easier than trying to learn to use a 110 volt wire welder, isn't it? And there's an interesting, I don't know if the camera picks, yes, the camera does pick that up. I don't know what that X is, whether that's just the maker whacked a quick X to say that he made that. I don't know the significance of that. But I thought I ought to do some of that. Now I've got the family of the grandchildren of the original owner interested in it. Yes, so a bit of progress. We'll carry on with that after a cup of tea. But I thought I would tell you a little story. We're rapidly getting into the Christmas season, and this morning a little lad who I know fairly well, I know his mum and dad more than I know him, and he approached me and he held out a great fan of cards, and he said, "Pick one," he said. So I said that was very kind of him, and I picked this one. And this is one of your French lessons for the day. Happy Christmas. So I picked one. I said, "Thank you." And he smiled and he said, €5, he said. So this morning I got mugged at church. How about that? By a small boy. Yes. So that's your French lesson for the day. Joyeux Noël. Happy Christmas. I will leave you with another. This is your homework for the day. I'm not going to tell you what this means. You've got to translate it. This is how we learn the language. We read things. Anyway, that's that for today. I'm going to spend the rest of the day in some quiet tasks.